Hey, what's up, guys? So I wanted to make a quick video, seeing as I just got off stream working on my product, which I'm calling Feature Realm, and I wanted to make a quick video just talking about how much of a chef's kiss um, Next.js server actions rather, and the Shadcn sort of form and React hook forms all work together just to make this absolutely amazing developer experience. And it just makes things an absolute breeze. I'm also using Drizzle for managing database as well, and Zod for validation. But if I pop into, well, actually, before we do that, let me just pop over to the browser and just show you. It's a very simple form, but I think it sort of shows the concept off quite nicely. But if we just put something in here like, well, the next big thing, just like that says, 123 for description, and we just pop https doodle.com and create the feature, you see we get a nice little toast, pops us back to the profile. Again, this is work in progress. It will actually do something else when it's built. And we'll pop over it back into features again. And I just want to show this off. So we go next, big thing, same thing again. Put some stuff in there, over here. And you'll see this time we get an error basically telling us that the feature with that title already exists. So we can see we've got some validation stuff going on here, and some nice error handling. Now, if I switch back on over to the code, and we open that up, and I pop into where our page is, you can see in here, this is, should be fairly recognizable sort of Next.js code at this point, but this is a used client component. Well, at the moment, again, this is a work in progress, but the form page I've marked as a used client component for now, and we're importing all of this stuff from the Shadcn stuff, which usually stick stuff in that UI folder. And if we pop down here, you can see I've set up some state for basically saying, it's submitting. We've got to use route hook, which I'll show off where we're using that in a second. Then we're setting up our form schema. Our form schema is essentially taking a title, description, and a link. And when we pop down here, we're using the Zod resolver to use that form schema there. Using the use form stuff, which, all of this is in the Shadcn documentation, and this is just a quick video going over a couple bits. But down here, we've got our onSubmit function now. In our onSubmit function, we'll go over this create feature function in just a second, but when it's submitted, it takes the values, which will be from our form schema, and it's essentially, and then it sets to submitting to true, so it's almost like our loading state, just pop a space there. And then what it does is it sends off to this create feature action, which we'll get to in a second. Once that comes back, it then sets set submitting to false, which is our loading thing, and then down here, based on the response type, if it's an error, we send a toast error, and if it's not an error, if it's successful, we're sending we're using a toast success down here, and that the toasting stuff, which is actually, if I switch back to our browser and we go to Shadcn and we go to components and I switch down to, where is it? I believe it's Sona, S-O-N. Here it is. So this is sort of an alternative to the other toast thing, which is down here. And this uses the Sona, blow out my retinas. This is using the Sona toasting library instead, which I prefer personally. I think it's much nicer. The way it works is quite nice, and undo buttons and everything else. I just personally prefer it over the other toast. But that's in here as well. Now, if we pop over here, if it's successful, we send that response message like you saw earlier when I demoed this. Oh, hold on, let me switch back to code. Yeah, so if this was successful, we show that Sona toast, which I just showed you, and then we've got this role to push back to the profile page. As you can see, I've left myself a to-do to move it to the newly created feature. And then all of this is this is from the Shadcn UI, and we've got the button down here, which is just showing and a loader icon based on the submitting status of the form. Now, why? And then the true magic here is, as I was saying, is in this create feature function, which if I believe it's F12, no, okay, this one here, cool. Now this, so if I open up this, is our create feature action file here, which I've just put right next to the page just to keep everything together. Let's close that down. Now this file is marked as use server. So this is a server action file. Anything exported out of here is a server action. Now I could have probably done this better with creating what is essentially another schema, but we also create a type of feature form data, which is used in this function, and we've also got this interface of an action response, which you saw earlier, which is the success and error, and the message string here. Then we've got our export const create feature function, which is an async function, and all this does is the first thing it does is goes through, it checks if we've got a user, and I'm using Lucia Orth under the hood here. It checks if we've got a user. If we haven't got a user, we're going to redirect to sign in, and this is again using a built-in NextJS function within the server actions, which is the redirect function. So that will end that almost acts like a return. So if we haven't got a user, it returns them to the sign-in page as well. So which is quite handy. It almost acts like a middleware in a way. And then what we got here is your feature schema. Now, if for whatever reason, obviously we're doing front-end validation as well, but if for whatever reason this sort of parsing fails, what we do is it jumps down to within the try catch, goes down here, returns the error, something went wrong, please try again. And if we go down here, so we've got our slug, which we take from the title, and what we're doing is using drizzle ORM to check if that slug exists. If that slug exists, then what we're going to do is check, well, we check if the slug exists here, and we return an error saying a feature with that title already exists. And then what we're going to do is if all of that stuff, all the validation, goes ahead and it all passes, we simply insert the new stuff here using drizzle ORM, and then return success, feature created successfully, which is shown in the Sona toast which you saw earlier. But again, just the ease and organization of code here, which I just think is absolutely fantastic, and it was a breeze to put together, went together a lot quicker than some other stuff I've used before. One example being TRPC, which just feels like there's a lot of hoops to jump through before you get everything set up. But yeah, essentially, it was just a breeze to put together. A couple of things I need to fix up, really. Just thinking about it now as I explained it out to you, was where I've got here feature schema pass. If this fails, then we're just going to get something went wrong. And really, I need to handle that a little bit better and talk about and tell the user exactly what validation went wrong and stuff like that. Although, to be fair, we are also using the sort of Zod client validation here, so it shouldn't really get to that point. But how I handle that, I have to save that for another time. But yeah, no, that's all really from now, guys. I am planning on creating a video, so if I just quickly back to a browser, another video at some point talking about what feature realm is, how how it's all going to work, and how you can get involved once it launches and stuff. I'll be building a landing page for that at some point in the future. I do have the domain, which I'm rather proud of, and yeah, awesome. Thanks for watching, and I shall catch you all next time. Cheers.